online video class for class 12, followed according to the syllabus of NPSC Kohima. In this video, we will be learning about economics, the different topics that we will be dealing in class 12 economics. In previous class, that is in class 11, we have already dealt with microeconomics. So in class 12, we will be dealing with the macroeconomics part. To start with, let us refresh our mind by recollecting the meaning of economics. What is economics? Economics, it is a social science that studies the production, the distribution, and the consumption of the final goods and services produced in an economy. Economics is divided into two branches, that is the microeconomics and the macroeconomics. And it also consists of two main schools of economic thought, that is the classical school of economic thought and the Keynesian school of economic thought. So according to this classical school of economic thought, they believe that an economy as a whole functions only when the market operates freely without any government intervention. They also believe that in an economy, when there is no government intervention, the supply creates its own demand. That is, whatever goods and services are produced within the country, it will directly or indirectly lead to the creation of supply, of demand. Now, but the Keynesian school of economics, they strongly criticize what the classical school of economic thought. They criticize that they believe that there should be government intervention in the functioning of economy. So opposing the assumptions given by the classical school of economic thought, they have developed a new theory known as the macroeconomic theory. Now the question here arises, why and when macroeconomics emerged, or what are the factors behind the development of modern macroeconomics? So for this, although the Western countries, they were highly developed, but there was a factor that leads to the fall in the level of income, in the level of employment, and also in the level of output. So with the factors that rises due to the fall in the level of income, in the level of employment, the classical economics, they were not able to give a phenomenon explanation why all this fall in this level of income, the employment and output takes place. Although the Western countries were highly developed, yet there was fall in the level of output, in the level of income, and in the level of employment. So the classical economics, they could not explain this phenomenon due to a worldwide depression that took place in the whole world. It was against this that the Keynesian schools of economic thought brought a new revolution known as the Keynesian Revolution. So therefore, the Great Depression of 1929 to 33 was the main factor that leads to the development of modern macroeconomics. Now coming to this meaning of macroeconomics, what is macroeconomics? Now coming to the meaning of macroeconomics, what is macroeconomics? I have wrote down some points, you can look here. The first point is whole economy. The second is performance, structure, behavior, and decision making. The third is aggregates and averages. The last one is national income, saving and investment. Economy as a whole. It deals with the whole of the economy and not as individual units. It studies the performances, the structure, the behavior, and the decision making of the economy. It also studies the aggregates and the averages of the entire economy. What are those aggregates? The aggregates are the national income, the saving and investment, the demand and supply of the economy. This comes under the aggregates and averages of the economy. So macroeconomics deals with all of these points that I have written here. So in other words, macroeconomics deals with the whole of the entire economy as a whole and not as an individual units. Since the subject matter of macroeconomics revolves around the determination of income and employment, in other words, it is also known as the theory of income and employment. Now, what is the importance? Why do we have to study macroeconomics? Why is there need to study macroeconomics? Or what are the importance of macroeconomics? Importance of macroeconomics. The first one is it helps us to understand the functioning of complicated economic system. It enables us to learn how the economy as a whole functions and how the level of national income and employment is determined on the basis of aggregate demand and supply. The second point is achieve. Macroeconomics help us to achieve the goal of economic growth, higher level of GDP, higher level of employment. The third point is stability. Macroeconomics help us to maintain price stability in the economy. The fourth one is determine balance of payments. It explains factors which determines the balance of payments in business activities. It suggests policy measures to control inflation and deflation. The last point is solve economic problems. Macroeconomics help in solving the economic problems like the poverty, the unemployment, the business cycles, etc., which is possible in macroeconomic level only, that is at the level of the whole economy. So with detailed knowledge of functioning of the economy at macro level, it has been possible to formulate correct economic policies and coordinate in international economic policies as well. Then the next topic that we will be dealing is the scope of macroeconomics. What are the subject matters that the whole of the macroeconomics cover? The first point under the scope of macroeconomics is theory of national income. The study of macroeconomics is very important for it helps us in evaluating and analyzing the performance of the economy in terms of national income. This leads to the construction of data of national income, which in turn help in forecasting the level of economic activity and the performance of the economy as a whole. The second scope of macroeconomics is the theory of employment. The general level of employment in an economy depends upon the effective demand, which in turn depends on aggregate demand and aggregate supply functions. When we talk about effective demand, it is the intention of the people to buy with a means to pay. And macroeconomics has special significance in studying the causes and the effects of general level of unemployment. It helps us to know what causes the level of employment to fall down or what causes the level of employment to rise, and what will happen to the economy when there is rise and fall in the level of unemployment. Now the third point of scope is theory of money. Macroeconomics has scope in solving the monetary problems. Frequent changes in the value of money, inflation or deflation, affects the economic activities on analyzing these changes. They can be corrected by adopting proper measures like the fiscal and the monetary policies and the other measures for the economy as a whole. The last scope of macroeconomics is the theory of economic growth. The economic growth is also a study of macroeconomics. It is on the basis of this macroeconomics that the resources and capabilities of the economy are well evaluated. Proper planning is done to increase the level of national income output and employment with the help of the macroeconomic studies. So the 4 points that we have discussed are the scope of macroeconomics, which we'll be dealing with in detail in the later part of your class. Next, we will go to the distinction between microeconomics and the macroeconomics.